When you're super rich, time and money just don't mean the same thing. The physics of the world start to change, and the lines that constrain everyone else and separate good ideas from bad, success from failure, begin to twist and warp. It's not that up is necessarily down.
How would you warm Mars up?
It's the fast way and the slow way.
But it's this idea that with the right lawyers, maybe the right lobbyists, kind of could be.
Give me the fast way.
The fast way is drop thermonuclear weapons over the poles.
Brother,
I'm Tim Murphy, national correspondent for Mother Jones, and this is Billionaire Math, where we try to make sense of the things that don't really make sense about the billionaire class. Elon Musk is supposed to be the guy who gets us to Mars. He said he has no other purpose. Maybe we should be taking that with a grain of salt.
We're going all the way to Mars, I think. That's
Time frame.
best case 10 years, worst case 15 to 20 years.
That's Musk in 2011. 1 year later, in 2012, he predicts a mission to Mars somewhere between 2022 and 2027.
We're ready to do such a mission in the 10 to 15 year time frame.
In 2015, he says we're on the way to establishing a city there. So far, so good.
Yes.
Really? How long before we could turn Mars into someplace where we could live?
It is a fixer-upper of a planet.
It's 2016, Musk's first deadline for getting to Mars. We're not on Mars, but Musk has a new schedule.
scheduled for 2018.
Wow, all right, so Musk said SpaceX's long-term goal is to colonize Mars by the 2020s.
He also says he'll go to space himself.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool, cool to die on Mars.
Within a few months, he even moved the schedule up, predicting manned flights in 2022.
Timelines. Not the best at this sort of thing.
In 2017, his plans are even bigger. 4 missions to Mars by 2024, 2 of which will have people on them. Also, they'll be able to make their own fuel when they get to Mars. 2018 comes and goes.
You're 47. What is the likelihood that you personally will go to Mars?
70%.
2020, he sets a new goal. He'll get 1 million people to Mars by 2050. That December, Musk says he's highly confident he'll launch a manned mission to Mars by the end of 2026. And he's still going to space himself.
When will your first trip to orbit will take place?
I don't know, possibly in 2 or 3 years.
2025, he writes on X, we're going straight to Mars. The moon is a distraction. And then this February, Musk announces that he has shifted his focus to building a self-growing city on the moon. A comparable effort for Mars was just not feasible, he says, until at least 2046. And then literally one day after that, Mars will start in 5 or 6 years. I could keep going, but I think that's enough. This is a story about hype. If you see this man and he tells you he's 5 minutes away, he is not. And I think there's a lesson here in how Musk operates and how he gets ahead. Well, SpaceX was selling this science fiction story to the public and to the government. Musk became one of the most powerful people in the world by focusing on something much closer to home. He became the king of low Earth orbit.
You have the obvious existing business of satellites of one kind or another.
That's billionaire math. Are the biggest names in tech just passing around the same promissory note in a giant circle and acting like it belongs to all of them? It kind of seems like it. We're talking about how AI companies make their money, or spend their money, or maybe both. The AI boom is often described as a race.
It feels like there's a race right now in AI. And it almost feels like you guys are the new Formula One drivers.
Companies like OpenAI and Meta are building bigger and bigger data centers, vying to be the first to unlock a revolutionary new technology, or at least dominate the market. Every new data center announcement is a flex and a signal to their rivals. They're kind of the new product launches. But just as significant as the competition is all the cooperation. Much of the money coming into these companies is coming from the other companies. The industry has an epidemic of circular financing. Bloomberg recently published an incredible chart laying it all out really simply. Or maybe not so simply. It looks like that Onion headline from the beginning of World War I. I'm not sure who the Ottoman Empire is. Microsoft is investing in OpenAI, which is buying stuff from Microsoft. NVIDIA is investing in everyone else, essentially to continue buying chips from NVIDIA, Microsoft and NVIDIA are investing in Anthropic so it can buy products from Microsoft and NVIDIA. Amazon is investing in OpenAI, which in turn is getting compute from Amazon. They're all basically giving each other money to buy stuff from the company giving out the money. It's called vendor financing, and on some level it makes sense. A company that makes a product is investing in its marketplace and the products of the future. But there's a real risk, too. What if the actual demand isn't as explosive as all these circular deals suggest? And this never-ending series of announcements is really just inflating a bubble. That's exactly what happened the last time there was a big crash in Silicon Valley in the early 2000s.
Described as nothing short of breathtaking, a points drop never before seen on the US market.
Tech infrastructure companies like WorldCom heavily invested in their own customer base, the dot-coms. When their customers folded, they brought down the whole sector. For months, people inside and outside the industry have been talking about a bubble because the growth they're banking on is contingent on so many things. A boom in data centers and the availability of land and power and parts to build them with. Above all, demand. Not just from casual users, but people willing to pay a lot of money. By one estimate, there's an $800 billion shortfall between what the AI industry is spending on data centers and what it needs to make in revenue to break even in the coming years. If they can deliver what they're promising, we'll have other things to worry about. But if one part of the system breaks, well, it kind of breaks for everyone. You might remember this moment from the early days of Doge. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, walking around CPAC with the novelty chainsaw and the sunglasses John Mulaney wore when everyone realized he had a drug problem.
I am become meme.
It captured what Trump 2.0 is all about. And I think it also captured something essential about what makes the world's richest man the world's richest man, and why no matter what he does, his net worth just keeps going up. He's a meme. Or at least his stock is.
The reality is, as we point out in the note, it is the, so to speak, OG meme stock.
For months, thousands of protesters had been convening at Tesla dealerships. Musk had destroyed USAID, leading to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. He'd embarrassed himself at cabinet meetings.
But when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly.
And his signature product, the Cybertruck, was shaping up to be a historic flop.
Will Tesla Cybertruck values ever stop falling?
A struggling company losing 40% of its value sounds like the market at work. Except it didn't last. The numbers started going up and up and up. It added $200 in value by the end of the year, reaching a record high. What happened? It wasn't that the company turned it around. Earnings were way down. It sold just 20,000 Cybertrucks in 2025, which is half of what it sold the year before, and Musk once predicted it would sell 250,000 that year.
And it might be 500,000, I don't know.
Tesla is getting lapped by its Chinese rivals. He's being investigated in France for enabling sexual abuse materials in his AI agent, which is the very product he wants to put in cars. He denies any wrongdoing in the case. The thing Musk is promising he'll finally be able to do is self-driving cars, and that's something that Google's Waymo already does better. That's where the idea of a meme stock comes in. A meme stock is when a publicly traded company's share price starts to disassociate from conventional market forces. It moves up in value not because of anything to do with the material state of the company, its sales figures, capital expenditures, a whole new product, but because of something intangible, vibes. The most famous example is GameStop, which was almost a penny stock when a group of Redditors decided to drive up its value in 2021. The number went up and up and up and eventually back down. There was something real there. There was anger in hedge funds, the little guys taking on the big fish, but also kind of a joke. Elon Musk has done something different. He is the big fish, and he's shown that if you're big enough, gravity just doesn't work the same way. People just throw money at you. You can actually quantify this. Just compare the company's projected 12-month earnings to the company's overall value. An analyst at Bloomberg did this recently, and the results are kind of stunning. On average, the 6 other biggest tech stocks of the Magnificent Seven are worth about 25 times what they make in a year. Tesla is valued at 199 times its projected 12-month earnings, to a far greater extent than anyone else in the industry, an industry famously running on bullshit. What he's worth has nothing to do with what he's done, or even what he's on track to do. It's rooted in a story. He owes his success to a kind of belief that he's different, an oligarch myth. But perhaps it can only last so long. Rank and file investors are happy to bet their savings on the idea of Elon Musk. But the collapsing sales for his signature products show that in their heart of hearts, they're not really willing to bet their lives on it.